In this video, I'll be talking you through my return to running post-injury, how I'm building up safely, my future goals in terms of races, and an effort for a season's best at Parkrun. So let's start with the fun, exciting stuff, the big goals. So the big goal that I've got coming up is December time. It's the Valencia marathon, so that's my main goal for this year, is to be in good shape and good fitness to have a good block at the Valencia marathon. So that is roughly 4 months away now before I'll be towing the line, and really in terms of goals there, I would like to be able to run under 3 hours at this race. It was a goal last year to get back under the 3 hour mark for the marathon, which I had 3 hits at. The first time in London, I wasn't really that fit going into that, and came away with a 3:05, which was really good for that sort of level of fitness. I trained sort of sporadically over the summer, not as consistently as I'd like to, and came away with a best of around 3:03, I think it was, at Valencia. So I'd like to get back under the 3 hour mark if I can, and I feel 4 months is plenty of time to build up to this. And to give you some context of how I'm building this up safely, I really want to get those sessions in there, but we'll go through my running week this week. So I did 8 miles at about 7:45 pace with Robbie, which is usually an easy pace, but was just pushing it a little bit for my current level of fitness at the moment. So 8 miles on Monday. I took a full rest day from running on Tuesday and had a swim for the hour, so it was good to get off my feet and have a break after that harder run on Monday night. It had also dawned on me that I'd ran 5 days in a row up until Monday night, so it was well due a bit of a breather, let my legs relax. I would have probably had a day off a bit earlier if it didn't fall over the weekend, so I wanted to increase that load gradually. Although it is mainly only easy running, I'm still adding more load than when I've gone from no running. Then on to Wednesday. So Wednesday was a bit of a harder run with Dan, who's quite a bit quicker than me. We ran at Sutton Park, so we trained in Spain together in January, training for a couple of weeks there, and I know it's a lot quicker than me, so just his easy run is going to push me into that steady kind of pace. So for 8 miles for the hour roughly, we did 7:20 pace, which is the quickest I've done for that sustained distance, which is a good sign that I'm getting back fit, my legs are getting back fit, and it's a good way of introducing a little bit of speed in there at that sustained kind of tempo-ish sort of effort for me at the moment. It's a lot better than me doing, for example, an interval session where I'm really working hard for 2 or 3 minutes and putting a lot of strain on my body that's not used to running that fast. I got out before work on Thursday for a short run, so took a 4-ish miles recovery run. Good to flush the legs out after that effort on Wednesday night, and then took another rest day from running on Friday, so went for a swim Friday night. Did me a bit of good, only half an hour this time, but it's nice to get in water, not have any pressure on your joints, and still get a bit of cardio work in. That brings us nicely on to Parkrun this morning. So it's just before 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and I've decided to run to Parkrun this morning just to get a little warm up in before I go, but making sure that I keep the pace nice and slow before Parkrun so that I'm not burnt out, because I like to give it that good effort and try and go for a season's best of under 20 minutes at Conkers. So although it's not officially my Parkrun season's best, I've ran a 19-minute flat at Long Eaton on a quicker course, and I've ran a 5k in 18:30 just about 2 or 3 months ago. So it's going to be a good effort here to get under 20, but one I know I'm pretty capable of. And I know to get under 20 minutes that I need to find that fine line of going out a little bit quicker on the first mile than my target pace, because I know it's slightly downhill, always do that first mile a bit quicker, but leaving enough in the tank to be able to finish and hold that pace throughout. So I'm looking around 6:15, 6:20s for the first mile.
3, 2, 1, go!
So I started off the Parkrun pretty strong, pretty well, and felt pretty good in the first kilometre. So I clocked that in just under 4 minutes. It's a bit of a climb up a hill to start with, and then down the trail. So it's quite quick in the sort of second half of that kilometre. So a good start, just under 4 minutes, and then it brings us down to the bottom of the hill, and then we climb up Cheeky Hill. So Cheeky Hill is normally a bit of a tester for me. I can tell if I'm going to have a good park run if I can go up Cheeky Hill pretty well. So the first warning sign for me really was getting to Cheeky Hill and feeling that, I don't know, I didn't feel that I'd gone out too quick really, but getting there, I was a little out of breath, found it hard on the hill, and I wasn't running much quicker than a walking pace. So I did stop down for a bit of a walk up Cheeky Hill. So I thought, what's the point of ploughing through this effort if I'm not going to go any quicker anyway? So about 5 seconds of walking, got up the hill, and that kilometre was still 4 minutes. So I'd done 2 4-minute kilometres, which is bang on for 20-minute pace, and felt that the third K is a little bit easier. So you've gone up Cheeky Hill, you've got a bit of a descent, or 2 descents, one down to the canal and then one from the canal back down into the woods and onto the trail, and I've gained a bit of time back there. So I was bang on after 3K, felt that I picked up a little bit, but getting back onto the trail, a bit of a climb in the 4th K, and then yeah, coming back onto that uphill bit on the trail, really didn't have anything left in me to pick it up. So I took it back to an easier pace, probably about 4:20 for this kilometre, which really killed off any chance of going under 20 today, and finished the last K in a similar sort of time. So I don't know the official results yet, but probably looking at around 20:30 at best. So that is an improvement on last week, but mainly due to not stopping as much really. I had quite a few walks up the hills at Clumber Forest and went out far too quick and then paid for it at the end. So this week was a slight improvement, but still some way off where I think I could be under that 20 minutes at Conkers.
Following on from this run on Saturday, I then went out on the bike for around 35 miles. So there's a good cafe over towards Abbots Bromley Way, which is about 15 to 17 miles, depending on which route I take, to go for a slice of chocolate cake. So it was well worth the trip over. Got some nice lanes out there going past sort of Hall Cross sort of way, getting on the other side of Burton, the posh end if you like, is a good place to cycle round, and a nice sunny day, why not get out on my bike? So it was a good afternoon getting out there, and then I hopped in for a swim after that. So only about half an hour or so in the pool, but got all 3 disciplines of a triathlon done that day. So it was a busy day on Saturday, and nice to get a bit of extra work in with about 9 or 10 miles including the park run, 35 miles on the bike, and 1500 metres in the pool. It then meant a slightly easier day on Sunday, so no real long run this week as such. So 8 miles was what I managed this morning on Sunday, and I managed a bit longer in the pool with having a bit more time. So 2K in the pool. I'll finish off with 38 miles of running for the week, around 35 miles of cycling. So a little bit down on the cycling from last week with just doing 1 shorter bike ride. I'm a couple of miles up on the running, which is quite good. I've had a couple of harder runs in there as well, a harder park run effort and that hard run on Wednesday. And I've really done a bit more swimming this week, so 9K as opposed to I think I did about 7 or 8k last week, so I've been for a lot of shorter swims this week, and it's good to get that extra volume in without putting the extra pressure on my joints. So my injury does feel like it's getting slightly better, but I've still got to be careful that I don't re-aggravate anything and put myself out for a little bit longer. So it's good to gradually progress that distance up while still keeping some of cross training and the gym work and the strength training within there. So join me again same time next week for an update on how I'm getting back to running. Hopefully I'll be having some races in the calendar soon. With Valencia, my only one in the calendar, I'll look at seeing how I'll get to Valencia Marathon through doing some shorter distance races in the meantime. So until then, I'll see you in the next video.